Hello, Elan fans. I've been a bit crap on my videos lately, but essentially lots happened. Rewiring's happened behind the dash. You'll notice there's new, thick, better amperage cabling going off to various new relays. Yeah, basically correcting faults that I did when I was rushing to get the car finished. So now putting proper wiring in. It's going to remain untidy till the winter, but hey ho. Fucking telephone. Can't remember where I got to, but yeah, we've had another Regency Auto escapade. So I've never actually checked the timing that they did on the car. I just assumed it was the one bit that they'd got right, but I'll insert a video. I'll insert a video of me driving the car steady, then wide open throttle, and you can see what happens to the ignition timing table map thing. It's just totally. Now look at the traces on this. Right, that was a third gear pull. They've got the fucking mapping wrong as well. The bastards.
Wankers. Fucking embarrassing. Waste of our time. Fucking waste of our time.
Oh god. So yeah, it basically was doing no timing whatsoever. And then I out of interest I uploaded the base map for a Z-Tech, and it was exactly the same. So they didn't even bother mapping it. They just put a Z-Tech base map on and left it, and charged me 3 hours dyno time for it. So nice one, Regency. Cowboys. Yeah, so I'll be firing an email off to them, but honestly I'd rather just forget they even existed. So I think part of the problem is they didn't understand how the map sensor worked, and I've looked at it and I don't understand either. So I'm taking it upon myself to fit a throttle position sensor. So I'll get to those in a bit. So essentially I've been using some cardboard design, which would be good if I'd put the other bit of cardboard, but essentially I'm going to bolt a bit of steel onto the back of the carbs, much like the throttle adapter, then bend it through 90 degrees and have it coming over the end of the throttle shaft, which conveniently is just over 8mm, and the BMW TPS that Lotus recommend is an 8mm D shaft, so I can file in a flat on there at the appropriate angle, and it doesn't matter which way it spins, because Lotus will, I think it sorts itself out, but if it doesn't, I can just reverse the polarity on it, and then that will give me a much more accurate engine load. So I think map sensors are really good for turbo cars, but I don't think they work that well on this application. So yeah, got that to do. But what are these, I hear you asking? These are roll pins, because I've discovered that my cowling is loose. Now, I always thought it's because I was missing a fitting, but what it is it's meant to be attached to the outer column, and mine has broken away and come loose. So I don't know if I can weld this stuff, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there, and I'll ram a roll pin in each hole, and hopefully that'll hold it solid, because every time I indicate it moves around, which obviously user experience is crap, but it will add to the chafage that I'm getting on the wires. So so yeah, I've obviously used roll pins before, but I've never installed one. I've taken them out of applications and put them back in, so I'm assuming I measure the width and then drill a smaller hole. These seem to be, let me get these right around. These, look, you see that's chamfered, so that's the area that goes in. So I assume you just drill a slightly smaller hole, crimp the end down, whack it in so it's past where you've crimped, and then cut the end off if you want to be neat. I don't know. Follow me for errors, one supposes. Right, so there's the first hole drilled. I've chosen a 4.5mm drill bit, so obviously I can always drill it bigger, but I'm hoping and just ram him in there. So I am expecting to have to, sorry, I've got my head torch on and it's causing the camera issues. I might have to crimp it in a bit, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can get this in. Oh my good God, it's worked. Look, hardly moving. That's amazing. Right, so I'm going to put 2 more in, then I'll chop the ends off, and that should be done. Mega. Oh bloody hell, success. Got one in there, and one in there, and look at this. Just ignore the cows moving. I haven't got those screwed in yet, but look, it's solid. Oi oi. The only thing I could possibly have got wrong is the horn doesn't work, and it does. Beautiful. Job done. Nice. Right, welcome back. It's a few days later, and the good folk at Motorsport Electronics have sent me, well, I paid them to send it to me, and I plan to fit it there. So essentially 8mm shaft should fit in once I've filed off a D, and this thing here, I'll try and do it, get my little pinky. It spins around anti-clockwise, well, it spins clockwise as well, to be fair. It's not spring loaded, so my throttles spin that way. So I'm going to have it mounted so it's facing down, so if I go up, obviously I'll hit the bonnet. You see there's just, it will miss the breather there as well. So once I have my steel plate to make the bracket, it will go on, but I can make a start with filing this down with a great big file. So I'm literally just going to take a bit of material off, and then it's just waiting for the steel to arrive and making the bracket. I've modified the wiring. I know, it looks shit, but this is the map sensor, so I can just unplug it and swap it over. And I've got another sensor, earth, as well. So all ready to go. And then the reason I've done that is because I want to use the map sensor again to run the Regency Autos map on the dyno against the map as it should be run. Granted, I'll be using a TPS, not a map, but if they can get the map to work or calibrate it, you know what they should have done? They should have phoned me and said, "Sir, your map's bollocks. We need to get a TPS on here. Pick it up and fix it," rather than telling me it was all sorted. So, so yeah, I just want eternal gloating rights of what I've done with the carbs, and the timing here in my garage is better than those. Ugh, I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, I'm going to get this filed, just get this loosely mounted, and then hopefully, yes, the steel's going to come down here, be plenty of room, get that in. The wiring can tag along here, and over the winter this will be redone and nicely. I'm going to use that kind of, you know, the Chinese finger trap stuff. I'm going to use that, make it look all nice and pretty. And I think all of this is going to go basically the other side of that. So I'm just going to drop it down. The passenger feet get nowhere near the end of the footwell. I'm going to make a nice board, put bus bars on it, the whole lot. And that's going to be a winter project. So, but for now, let's get this done. Less chat, more action.
Hey, well, I've only had a quick little session with the file, and good news is, fits on. It goes about halfway onto the shaft, which once I've taken up the 3mm plate, it's very close to that first part. So I'm going to stop there, and that's really as much as I can do now until I get the plate. So I can wire the sensor in, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, stage 1 complete.
My nice big 3mm sheet of steel has arrived, and my very precise cardboard templates are on here. So what I'm going to do is chop this out. Then the first thing I'm going to do is the bend, because obviously this is to come up here, because that could go wrong, as in I might not get that in just the right place. So if I get the bend done, then I can add these bits on the end. Drill 2 holes there to hold on to the carbs, a hole there and a hole there for the TPS, and then I'm just missing the longer M5, I believe they are, M5 cap heads. Don't get it all bolted up. It could be running today. Anyway, look what I has. Haha, and haha, I have an AFR gauge. It's all the data goes into my ECU now, and I've got the TPS, and it works. It goes whoop, whoop, and all I've got to do is build a bracket for it. And you come through here. Haha. Here's my cardboard template and a Sharpie. How could it possibly go wrong? After a little bit of cutting and grinding, this is what we have. I even put the guard. Yeah, put the guard back on the grinder. That's how old I'm getting. And I've done a very, very fine, but not particularly straight, kind of graze, just to help me bend it a little bit. So, the one thing I don't have is a vise, which would be really fucking useful. So I'm gonna have to bend it over something and hit it with a big hammer. So yeah, and then there's a lot of material to come off this, but I figured it's easier to take off than add on. What do you think to this bracket, Charlie? Is it all right? Is it the right shape? Yeah? Are you going to inspect it? No, you don't care, do you? Right, well, I'll let you continue your important jobs. Right, I'm stalking. There's been sightings of a large brown Labrador. There he is. There he is. What have you been doing? You up to no good? Long walk for you all the way down here, isn't it? Hey? Hey? Oh. Right, I'm off, Captain. Oh, you big old beast. You keep everything in check till I get back, okay? Good. Hey, check that out. It's actually working. So yeah, this is a very, 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 very farm spec piece of engine, air quotes, engineering, but it works. So, piece of 3mm plate, bent into a right angle, lots of clearance. Well, I've got clearance there because there's a little sticky outy bit, so I wanted to miss that. Replace the screws on, the screws on the back of the carb hold it in place, much like the choke holder where I got my inspiration from. Bent it, lopped out a hole for the
TPS, bolted it on, and yeah, it only just bloody works. So temporary wiring, which will remain till the winter when I'll redo it all. But yeah, that feeds into the ECU, and the ECU is, as we can see, God, my car is a tip. Please do forgive me. As soon as I do any work, everything goes to shit. Look at that. Whack. Nice. I've also got my AFR gauge plumbed in, so I should be able to, although it won't be able to do anything about the air-fuel ratio, it will allow me to monitor it on here and also data log it, so I can go back and review it, because I'm a sad, lonely individual. I've got to get the table sorted out, because it's they're all on 0, that's why. So I've got to get it 0 here, 100 up here. Naturally it wants to go the other way, and then on the 3rd of October it's booked in with Project Heaven to fine tune the ignition timing, maybe do a bit on the carbs. Just need to set tracking a little bit, it's just a little bit off at the moment, and then yeah, all done. Right, I'm really sorry, I can't remember where I got to with the last video, but I'm going to wrap this up and get this one out. But basically, I've somehow got the TPS, it's running backwards, but it's all sort of floating in the right direction. This ignition map is a standard base map, so it's going in on Monday next week to have a proper one put in. But it's now a platform to be used. You know, all it's got to have is the right values put in. Obviously we don't need 7,500 and 8,000 tables in there, we can compress that all up, but you know, it comes off the bottom nicely, and yeah, all good. So I'm gonna drive it home, stick it in the garage, and then wait till Monday, because I just don't know if this is too aggressive, and I haven't got a knock sensor, so I don't want to potentially cause myself some issues. But yeah, I'll get this video out, and the next one will be on the dyno or after the dyno. See ya. Right, I'm back again. I couldn't resist. I kind of highlighted this area and gave it an extra 7.5% across the board, and it's so punchy in the mid-range now. So punchy. I don't know if I'll be able to go much over 40 degrees advance, but I hopefully might be able to fill the mid-range bit out. But I just dare not do it when I don't have a knock sensor, because I've never heard pinking or pinging. I don't know what I'm listening for, so I might miss it. But yeah, God, it's got so much punch for a standard engine on a shitty exhaust manifold. Not standard, but not a great one, and some Mikunis and some ignition. Standard SE 110 horsepower, whatever they were, and it's got some punch to it. So yeah, impressed, and very much looking forward to getting this bit done properly, which Regency couldn't be asked, obviously. And there's probably a reason why they didn't put the torque curve on the graph, because it didn't have any, whereas I reckon this is going to be proper punchy. And if we get time, I've still got the map sensor wired in, and I've still got the Regency file saved, so we'll put that in and do a back-to-back power run. Bearing in mind I've sorted the carbs out, but yeah, God, it's night and day to when I picked it up back in May. I didn't say it, but I was so disappointed. It just didn't do anything, and you know, now it's like, yeah boy, right, roll on Monday. What do you think to this bracket, Charlie? Is it all right? Is it the right shape? Yeah? Are you going to inspect it? No, you don't care, do you? Right, well, I'll let you continue your important jobs. Right, I'm stalking. There's been sightings of a large brown Labrador. There he is. There he is.
What have you been doing? You up to no good? Long walk for you all the way down here, isn't it? Hey? Hey? Oh. Right, I'm off, Captain. Oh, you big old beast. You keep everything in check till I get back, okay? Good.